Gundam.tk presents Double O Riser. Hey, what's up everybody? It is Robert184 from gundam.tk, and today I'm going to be taking a look at the high-grade Double O Riser plus GN Sword 3. This kit was released in late 2009 and it sells for 2,000 Japanese yen or $20 US. Now this Double O Riser release is identical to the release of the Trans Am Riser, which also came out in 2009. And the only difference being that this one has gloss injection to make it look like Trans Am colors, and this one comes in its regular anime colors. And I built this one, the Trans Am one, quite a while earlier, but of course, because I like regular lead Gundams in their regular colors, this was too hard to pass up. You also get this message that the GN Sword 3 is attached to this because previous releases of the Double O Gundam and Double O Riser have not included it in its regular anime colors. This is number 54 in the high-grade Double O series, which has done a fairly good job of selling models for Bandai. Looking around the box, you've got a nice shot of the front of the Double O Riser, and then you've got the back with, you can see of course that the O Riser is attached onto the Double O Gundam, and it has the GN Sword 3 here, and then you get some information on the pilots, Setsunai Seiei, and Solbro Ryu's main man, Saji Crossroad. On the other side of the box, you have the GN Sword 3 showing off its cool effects, including the fact that it can become the Riser Sword because they give you a huge honking pink effect part which slides over the GN Sword 3. And this was a pretty cool pose that they showed off when they were hyping this Gundam, where he's almost leaning and just leaning on the tip of the riser, and everything looks sort of cool. You can see here that the O Riser docks with the Double O Gundam. They show it independent. You also get these pink effect parts for the regular GN Sword 2s, and then over here you have a pretty cool pose with the GN Sword 3 folded up and regular beam sabers. You're also going to get a black action base, so you can attach that to a regular action base. You've got the high-grade Double O Gundam's regular independent moving hips, and you get a bunch of marking seals that can make everything look pretty cool if you're into marking seals. And here it is, unpainted. You'll notice that there's no green, red, or blue painted onto here. The plates on this kit are really cool. You're going to get the regular O Gundam's A plate, which comes with yellow, gray, red, and a bunch of clear parts, which I painted green, red, and blue, well still on the sprues to make life easy. You get white, blue, and a thing of poly caps for the Double O Gundam. Now, if you bought the high-grade O Riser separate, because it came out later in the story, you're going to get a clear orange part, black, blue, gray, and white. And the real winner of this one, plus GN Sword 3, is the fact that you're going to get the GN Sword 3, which comes with the green clear parts, huge amount of pink clear parts, then you're going to get blue parts and gray. So when I look at all of these awesome plates, including two different clear parts here, you've got a clear part for the O Riser, you've got all sorts of colors on the A plate of the Double O Gundam, why did Bandai not paint the blue parts for the perfect grade Double O Riser when they can do this much for you for a high grade? You're going to get a fair number of seals with this, including some tip parts here for the Double O Riser. This is for the inside of the jewel, and these will go inside all of the green parts, but I painted them green, so I didn't really see a point in putting them in. And the V-fin is seals. It's not actually yellow parts, so that could have been done better, but the fact that they give you all these seals is pretty cool. This is hard to see here too, but they give you two special celestial being markings that you can put on the side of the Double O Riser or the shields. The manual is a little bit bigger than your regular high grade. It's 5 pages opened up, and when you open it up you're going to get a nice splash page showing some of the things that you've seen on the box, a couple pages of color instructions, and when you open it up you get to see all of the plates, how to order missing parts, and 4 pages of directions telling you how to put the Double O Gundam, the O Riser, and all of its accessories in together to make some awesomeness. Now seriously, could this guy come with any more parts and weapons? Well, he could if he was the high-grade 1/100th Gundam Double X. So what do you get when it's all put together? Well, you're going to get an additional base here that can attach onto a regular action base. In addition to that, you're going to get the O Riser's fuselage, its 2 separate wings. You're going to get 2 shields for the Double O Gundam. For the Gundam itself, you're going to get a lot of parts, including the GN drives, arms, chest, waist. You're going to get legs, separate feet, an additional hand, so you do get 3 hands, and the head, of course. But it's the weapons where this kit really shines, and here you're going to get 2 beam sabers. You're going to get the GN Swords 2 and 2 pink effect parts. So here's one attached, which really increases their length. And of course the GN Sword 3 with clear green parts and the ability to turn that into the riser sword with this huge pink shell that you'll put on. And for no reason at all, first grade Exia's Sword 2. For the parts of the O-Riser first, you're able to bend this part. The wings have a fair bit of mobility, you can move them out here, and this part will be used in the transformation. For the fuselage itself, this O-Riser is looking pretty good, mostly thanks to the clear parts. So Bandai, clear parts, please color them. And here's where you're going to put in the wings, and for the transformation here, you're going to pull this up, you can see that separate, and bend it down, and then this is going to plug into the back of the 00 Gundam. Why do I love new Bandai kits? Well, for the very simple reason of ankles like these. They can go forward and back, and in addition to that, they can spin all the way down to the sides, which is an incredible amount of mobility. Here's the leg, and you're able to bend it down here and here, so no problem getting the 180. And there is my clear green parts, and I didn't put the sticker under it because I sort of like the pop of just the green effect. The waist does not leave a lot to the imagination, but it's got good side armor here, which I've just put in a little bit of lining. You're able to plug in the beam sabers to the back, and you're able to move the hips independently because it has this part that attaches in when you put the legs on. The torso doesn't rely on stickers, which I'm always a fan on. The shoulders, you're able to pull this part out a little bit so they can come forward. You've got a good solid backing to put on the GN drives, and you've got yellow pieces here and a good white part there, so no problems with the chest at all. The incredible mobility continues with the arms. You've got no problems with the shoulders. It spins around here, and then you have a bend that's possible of about this much. But in addition to that, you can also bend the front of the wrist, in addition to the hands moving independently. And again, these are 2 green parts, and you can see here that when it's on a dark background, it sort of loses some of its impact, which is why I chose not to put the stickers underneath it. Now these GN drives do their job very effectively because they have a fair bit of mobility. This part pivots here, this sticks in strongly. This can move this way and up and down. The only complaint I have is really, outside of the lining I put on here, is that you just cannot compare the GN drives that they give you on the high grade and the 1/100th non-grade and the perfect grade. Now the head of this 00 Gundam I think looks great, but I think you're going to have to do some work to get it there. Starting with some green paint on the sides. I don't usually paint outside of clear parts, but I did put gray on his face because I had it for my 1/60th Exia, and I think it really brings out the look. And it has a line there like a channel so that you're not going to have any problems getting the paint in just the right place, and it's easy to fix if you do. I painted the red jewel on top, and my only real complaint here is the fact that they just give you stickers for the V-fin at the top instead of yellow parts. And now weapons, weapons, weapons. With the shields, you're able to pull off this blue piece and slide it into 2 positions, and if you put them both like this, you're actually able to attach the shields together. The beam sabers are simple but still pleasing to the eye, and there's no problems lining the hilt with just a single line there. The GN Sword 2s are probably my favorite part of the 00 Gundam, but again I painted these in clear blue, and by pulling out the white part you're able to change them into blaster modes, but you'll notice here that there's a few loose parts. If you pull off this part of the hilt actually, you do get a double part of the hilt, which you can put on and then put both of the swords together, so you can go Darth Maul style. Here you get an idea of the size of the effect parts that they give you, and they're very light, so I don't think they're going to cause any weight issues. But of course everybody was waiting for the GN Sword 3. You can see the clear green parts here. They also do give you a special plate for these white parts, which is different from the Trans Am riser. On the front you're supposed to have a blaster here. It doesn't really look like it, but it does look cool when it's folded up into his back. And of course you slide that forward, and then all of a sudden you have one of the cooler looking swords in all of Gundam. With the GN Sword 3, you're also going to get just these 2 fat pink parts which you attach together, and when you do that you can slide them on to make the riser sword, which is a very cool effect because you can still see the sword inside, including a little bit of the green, and it locks in with 4 tiny pegs there, so no problems at all keeping this in shape, but I wonder about weight issues. Now that's a lot of parts, so stay tuned for part 2 everybody, and we can see the 00 riser all put together. As always, thanks for watching Gundam.tk.